This is very hard to explain because it's a complex technology, but...
From the 𝐁𝐬𝐤 Remains production team studios in the Netherlands, my name is 𝗵𝗲𝗍 and welcome to this live stream. My mission is not to sell you as many apps as I can. No, my mission is to educate, teach you, help you with audio track collection, management and conversion for DJs, so you have more time for the fun and creative part of being a DJ. As every week, let me do a very quick introduction of who I am. My name is 𝗵𝗲𝗍. I'm a 58-year-old dude from the Netherlands. I had my first DJ residency at the age of 15, which means this is over 40 years of DJ experience in the flesh. I am no longer an active DJ. I call myself a retired DJ. However, you may know me from a little app that I wrote, and I wish that I prepared this because usually it is on that screen. But that app is named the DJ Conversion Utility, and that allows you to convert between various DJ software, maintaining your cues, your loops and all that other good stuff. Each Tuesday, 7 o'clock PM Central European Time, and that happens to be right now, I host this Ask Me Anything live stream where we talk about all the DJ technology related topics of the week ahead and things that I discovered during the week or during the last stream. I also answer your questions and you can ask them in the live stream. If you got a question for me, let me know that up front. So just type in the live stream chat, listen, I got a question, because that way I know that there is a question coming. And in case at the end of the stream, I don't cut it off while you were still typing your question. If you like what I'm doing, then please like, share, subscribe and all that other good stuff this video. But most importantly, tell your DJ friends about the availability of this information, totally free, online, every Tuesday, 7 o'clock PM Central European Time. If you happen to watch this video from an archive, then you can always ask me a question in the comments below the video and I will come back to the answer of that question in the next live stream. In all honesty, I don't have that many topics to talk about today. It's the week before Easter, so things are slowing down a little bit, but there is one big thing that we need to speak about. And I will do that because that is talking my own book. But before we do that, let's say hi to the people already joining me in the chat. Ivan Veles, start the show, Ivan says. Ivan was very early. Ivan, I usually start the stream 10 minutes ahead of 7 PM, but I try to be on time like a good DJ should. So that is why I just keep the intro going for the first 10 minutes and then go live with it. But happy to have you with us, my friend. Do the DJ, happy Tuesday, 𝗵𝗲𝗍 and friends. Happy Tuesday, Do, and great to have you with us. Jade Star Watcher is joining us all the way from Seattle, and good to have you with us, Jade. 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗀, he has a question. Hey, I'm using your crate renamer for Serato. I've deactivated the subcrate like you said in the tutorial bit. I still get subcrates. How do I avoid this? What am I doing wrong? Not sure what you mean by that, 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗀. However, I issued an update to the Serato Crate Renamer, and I will show you guys in a moment what that means, because I saw that there was a little bug inside the Crate Renamer, and that is solved. So let me show that in a moment. 𝐀𝐬𝐬 is also joining. Yes, 𝐀𝐬𝐬, we are going to talk algorithm DJ here. DJ Matt Official, evening Mixmaster G, wishing you a happy Tuesday from England. Good to have you with us, Matt. Thank you for joining the club. 𝐀𝐬𝐬 is already. I was using DJ with an S11 with CDJ 3000 and it wasn't working. How do I get it to work properly? Is there a mapping for it? If so, where? No, the problem is that you cannot use, as far as I'm aware, the S11 with iOS devices at all. That won't fly. But on macOS it kind of should work. If the drivers are installed on your macOS system, you need to have the drivers for the S11 installed. I can use DJ with my 3000s and my Nexus 2 just fine, 900 Nexus 2 mixer, but that is because I have the drivers installed. The mixer of Pioneer DJ requires a driver, and for that reason it doesn't work on iOS, because those drivers are not available on iOS. Into Music is also joining us from Berlin. Mixmaster G, I left this question on Facebook last week, but I don't know if you have seen it. I am not sure which question that is. Into Music, I have one user question about Traktor keys, but I don't think that was you, so ask it in the chat if you want to. Eddie Broom, evening Mixmaster G, evening Eddie. Good to have you with us. And it's not a late start, Ivan. It is, I start on time. I start at 7 p.m, but I open the stream a little bit earlier so people have time to get into it, because, for instance, YouTube alerts don't always come there on time, so that's why I start a little bit early. Into Music is, yeah, I got that question on my list, Into Music, and we will get into that in a moment. 𝗷𝗲𝗻 Sanchez, hi Mixmaster G, how are you today? I'm doing great, 𝗷𝗲𝗻. I hope the same for all of you. And the topic for this session is usually set by all of you guys, so if you have something to talk about, just ask it. But Into Music already has his question, and I've got the Serato Crate Rename question already. So let's start with the Into Music question about keys that sometimes are missing when you convert using the DJ conversion utility from Traktor to Rekordbox. And the reason for that is a very complicated one, but I will try to show you how that works. And for that we are going to, not there, but this one. And we take this one off. Lately I'm getting pretty good at switching my screens, right? It has been a while that I forgot to switch my screens. I'm doing that on time now. So here we are in Traktor. Let's close this out. No, I don't want to switch. And the problem with Traktor is that there are actually three kinds or three places where the key is stored. First of all, you have the key field. And the key field, as you can see, and let's make this a little bit bigger, is the key notation as dictated by Traktor. The problem is that is not the key most people use. Most people like to use the Camelot keys, and preferably coming from mixed in key. And for that reason there is a second key field, and that second key field is named key text. And that key text holds, as you can see in my case, the Camelot keys, but it can hold any random string, any random text you want. So if I want to change this key into hello there, then it has the hello there key. It's just a text field. Problem is, most Traktor users use the key text for their keys, so that is the key notation that the DJ conversion utility focuses on. It disregards the key field and it will use the key text field to see if there is a valid Camelot key in it. But if there is no key text field and there is a key field there, then odds are that the track, the audio file of the track contains the key. And let's have a look here. So let's open, let's show this one in the Finder. where am I? It's not available. I think none of the tracks is available because show track in Finder. Can it do that? No, it doesn't. All right, let me clear this out. Or let's make a preparation playlist and let's put a track in it where I know the audio location. So I don't know, 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗀 and 𝗀𝗃. You can't get more Dutch than this. And you can see that the key text, that the actual key, the Traktor key is none, and that the key text is 5B. So that is the 𝐀𝐬𝐤 key. Now if I open this track in, for instance, Kit3, which is an audio tag editor, it shows you the tags of the audio files. Then we can find which key is used. This is the ID3 tag, so I always prefer to look at the ID3. And there you have initial key, it is named, and that is also named 5B. If there is no key information in the Traktor collection file, then 𝐥_6, the software, my app that transfers the information from the Rekordbox XML that is created by the DJ conversion utility to Rekordbox, will look inside the initial key and see if there is a valid 𝐀𝐬𝐤 key there. Any other key is disregarded. So if there is, for instance, an open key there, it will not be converted because open key is not supported by Rekordbox. That's the whole reason for it. So that is the little bit confusing part about Traktor and the keys and why they sometimes show up and sometimes they don't. In general, because I am not the biggest fan of the keys that Traktor analyzes at. I'm a big fan of Traktor's grids and BPM detection, but when it comes to key detection, not that much. So just let the Rekordbox analyze the tracks for key and you have your key field filled in, and odds are that that key will be better, or if not the same as Traktor's key. I hope that answered your question there in music for this part. Then we've got the question by 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗀. And let's have a look together, 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗀, shall we? And for that reason I need a USB. So let's insert my USB here. And let's format it quickly so we have an empty USB. And then this is the empty one, and let's erase it. And that is all fine. Let's go. Done and done. And then let's fire up Serato. And by the way, 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗀, the reason why I don't recommend subcrates is because you cannot export them very easily, but we will show that in a moment. So let's, this is a very big collection, let me clear that out. Let me make an empty one there, because otherwise it will all take ages and that's not necessary. Let's see. All right, now we are here. I still see, that's all coming from Apple Music streaming service. That's why it's such a mess. All right, let's create a crate here. Test crate 1. And let's put some tracks in it. Do I still have my, no, I don't. Let's put a couple of tracks in it. Let's create a second crate. This is subcrate 1. And then let's make this a subcrate of crate number 1. And let's put some different tracks in it. And then let's quickly analyze. Oh, I cannot analyze it, of course, because the mixer is connected. So that is one of the odd things of Serato. But we have two crates here, test crate 1 and sub crate 1. And the moment I want to export them to my USB, and you do that by going to the files section in Serato, and then I have to find my USB. There was another odd thing going on because I cannot navigate there easily, so you don't see what you're doing. That is always such an annoying software. Why can I not? That's better. For some reason, you can see that right there. This is a huge bug in Serato, but if you are here, this one doesn't do a thing, so I cannot move down the list, and I want to see my untitled drive. So the only thing you can do is make the area wider by picking this up and then make it wider, and then I've got my untitled drive. If I just drag this crate over, then all the tracks should have doubled. Do they? Why not? Why are you not? I don't see my... there it is. I was looking for this. Copy. There, copied over. Then you got duplicate tracks here. Now if I want to have this subcrate 2, I cannot put that in the subcrate or under test crate 1. I can only do it like this. So now I got the subcrate and the test crate copied. And as you can see, all the tracks are duplicates there. All the tracks are duplicates, which is not what you want. So I created a little app, and that's totally free, and that's called the Crate Rename tool. And if you run it, it will separate the crates that are on the USB from the crates that are in the collection, and that way you don't have duplicates anymore, because those duplicates are not actually duplicates. So right now I've got the USB Untitled crate, as you can see, and within it I've got the test crate, and it has maintained the subcrate for some reason. I don't know why. But as you can see, this update works just fine. It does what it needs to do. So update the Crate Rename tool, and that will make sure that you don't get all kind of duplicates and messes in your collection. Let's see, there were some other things in here. Let's see. Let's go back. Cosmo, with your 3000 and Nexus 2 mixer, are you able to map stems in Rekordbox? No, not really, but if I want to use stems, then Rekordbox is the last place where I want to use it. And more importantly, CDJ 3000s and a mixer like this, you use standalone, and standalone, the Pioneer gear doesn't have stems yet, so there is no reason for that. 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗀, I get always subcrates when I make track list crates on the USB stick. So when I run Crate Renamer, you said in the tutorial we should deactivate. No, not necessarily anymore. It should be fine, but be prepared that the audio files will be on the USB triplets, quadruplets, because that's how Serato exports. It's not ideal, but it's as good as it gets, 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗀. 𝐀𝐬 I have used mixing key on my entire Traktor library before I used the DJ conversion utility. No issues. Yeah, that's correct, because like I said, the DJ conversion utility focuses on the key text field, and that key text field is used for Camelot keys. And into music uses open notation, and open notation is the key field inside Traktor, and that is that's ignored by the DJ conversion utility. And 𝐀𝐬 really liked the new mixing key 11. Yeah, I must admit, Jay, that I didn't find that big of a difference between it. I'm not a big fan of the cues that mixing key makes, but it's still the best key detection software out there for sure. Milad here, shout out to 𝗵𝗲𝗍 for fixing my cloud sync library. You're welcome, Milad. Short answer, do not use cloud sync your Rekordbox. Yeah, it is an issue, 𝗵𝗲𝗍. For those of you unaware of what this means, in Rekordbox these days you have a cloud issue, but on average I am helping 3 to 4 artists each week recovering from their cloud issues, because most people regard the cloud as just another USB, but it isn't. The cloud is a folder on your computer, and that folder is watched by special software, and that synchronizes between an internet server and your computer. So it's a folder on your computer and not an external drive, and that's where all the problems originate from. And fixing that can be a very complicated task. By the way, that's not a service I provide for free. I charge for it, and depending on how big the issues are, yeah, it costs money, but at least it's recoverable. So Milad, you're more than welcome, my friend. Ivan Veles, I know I'm gonna have to learn to use all these DJ software soon, because you never, when you might have to DJ, yeah, that's correct. You have to know what you are spinning on, but on the average booth you will find Alpha Theta, Pioneer DJ, CDJs of some form, and that means that you are good to go. Would have to be acquainted with Rekordbox to create playlists to play on the Pioneer, and then, yep, that is indeed the most important one. Mr. Mac is in the house. Hello there, 𝗵𝗲𝗍. Hello, Mr. Mac, and very welcome to the show. Don't forget the like button. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Mac. Don't forget that like button, people. And 𝐤𝐸 is just smashing it. Thank you for that. Let's see, what else do we have? Ivan Veles was going to remember what he was going to say. I imported tracks from my central music location where all my tracks are stored and saved. Hold on. And saved directly into a playlist on the Prime Go collection panel, and then added cues and loops, and then I opened Sync Manager, clicked on the Prime Go, I clicked on tab to Engine DJ to update the Engine DJ software. Then I unplugged the Prime Go USB, Go Prime, search the added cues. No, that's correct, Ivan. And that's the reason why people use my tools to do that. Engine DJ is not very well made for getting stuff back into your computer. It's nice software to use on a controller, but not to go back and forth, so don't try that. But 𝗏𝗏 Renamer make a lot of crates from my main crate, so I have a lot of crates with sometimes only one song in it. It shouldn't do that, 𝗵𝗏𝗿𝗀, but I don't know. It's a free tool, buddy. It does what it needs to do, and that is separating the crates on a USB from the crates that are in your main collection. And that's all it does. Rekordbox Cloud, that's mental. How is it set up? Well, I can show you a little bit, Mr. Mac. The problem is with Rekordbox Cloud that it's actually consisting of 2 parts. The first part is the DJ metadata, the playlists, the cues, the loops, and all that other stuff. And the other part are the audio files. That metadata part, the most important part if you like, is stored on Pioneer DJ servers. So that's pretty much an automatic process and nothing can go wrong. The other part, storing the audio files, is handled by either Google Drive or by Dropbox. And that's where all the problems begin. Because a lot of DJs are already on Dropbox and then thought, hey, let's use that cloud feature, but that totally messes up your Rekordbox collection. Other DJs thought, oh, I've got infinitive cloud storage now with my Rekordbox subscription, so I'm going to put everything in the cloud, and then it messes up. So it's not ideal. Don't do it. Don't play with it. 𝐤𝐸 Star Watcher, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. I like that mixing key 11 is more accurate. I noticed on several tracks it changed the key from what it had been previously, and that change was for the better. Yeah, well, that's good stuff, and it's supposed to be a little bit better. And she also likes the pro features of finding mashups. Yeah, well, that is kind of I still, as an old DJ, an old school DJ who had to fight to find a cappellas and who always had a hard time to find stuff that you could blend for a mashup well, and you had to pre-process and do all that stuff with it. I still find it a little bit hard if that is going to be automated. That kind of makes my DJ heart bleed, but that's just me. It's a tool, so if it serves your purpose, sure, but also keep in the back of your mind that the more you can automate certain functions, the more available they become to the broader public. So they are not only DJ tools anymore, anybody can use them because they are very easy to use. Which also means that you are working on your own extinction, if you like, because there comes a point that 90% of the audience can do that by themselves and think, well, we don't need you for that. So that's my problem with all those automated functionality. My friend 𝗃𝗃 is in the building. What's good? I'm doing well, my friend, and good to have you with us. Hold on, why is that showing up? I don't want this. Hold on, folks, my restream is fighting me. Let's see if I can get that back. Yeah, no, still not. Why is that? Mixmaster G, what are your thoughts of DJ software called DJ Studio? Exactly what I just said, Ivan. The moment it is already great software, it is truly great software. I would never touch it with a 9-inch pole because it will be me working to make myself not important anymore, at least disposable, and that's not something I want to do. Mr. Mac, Mixmaster G, but why is this? Space and speed to access on Pioneer servers. I thought it was like a backup, complete backup when I first converted to CDJ 3000s and RB. I was tempted, thankfully I did not. Yeah, it is not, and the only way that you have a good backup setup for your Rekordbox, if you follow my advice, have your audio file on a separate partition or a separate volume or an external drive, all your audio files, and have your Rekordbox data on that very same external drive. Let me very quickly show that, because if you do that, then you can carbon copy clone that partition or that volume or that external drive to another drive, and you have the safest way of maintaining your Rekordbox collection. And then I always have 3 backups, number them 1, 2, 3. I do that myself. Let me show you. Let me show you how I do that. Let's see, because I just recently backed up. I've got them all 3 here. So here I am with my backups. Let me switch it again. This is backup number 3. This is backup number 1. And the active backup is currently backup number 2 because that has the rubber band around it. And what you do is the first week you back up to backup number 1 and you put a rubber band about it, and the next time you back up to backup number 2, and then you back up to backup number 3, and then you start with backup number 1 again. So you kind of rotate. And one of the benefits of doing it like that is that you can always go back in time like 2 weeks, because when you remove something from your collection and you have the cloud enabled, it will be removed from the cloud as well. So you cannot undo a major error, especially if you just find out after closing Rekordbox. If you have backups that go back in time, you can do that. So for that reason, use hard drives and use volumes. Yeah, it's Star Wars. Hold on. It's an arms race. I am not using these tools and AI tools. Someone else is. Yeah, that's correct. If I get gigs because I have the best combination, transitions and drops because of an AI tool found, then that's good for me. Yeah, that sure is. But again, it's not like I say don't use them. Use whatever you like to use. Who am I to tell you what you need to use? I'm just telling you that it is a part of making yourself not that important anymore. The DJ is not, because sooner rather than later, computers can do this all by themselves. But hey, if it works for you, good for you, use them. I will never use them because it takes away a big part of my DJ. What for me a DJ is discovering of new tracks, discovering of new combinations. And if that's all automated, then I'm just a button pusher. And even if the combinations are great, even if the transitions are seamless, I'm still the button pusher and not the creative mind who found it, who did invest time in it. And yeah, it is a Spartanic point of view, but that is what makes me feel like a DJ. Mr. Mac, thank you. I take all your advice on board. You're a gent, buddy. Yeah, you're welcome, Mr. Mac. Darukas. Why is that there? Oh, all right. 𝐷𝗵𝐻 CDJs are the worst. They barely read files from me or my friend's USB thumb drive. Live, very unstable, then it always works. Yeah, well, I never have problems with CDJs, but I can tell you horror stories about Denon by the dozen. That entire Dropbox Rekordbox situation is maddening. If you get database through Rekordbox, issues are minimized, but you only get half the storage than if you go through the Dropbox or already have it. Yeah, but don't do that. Don't rely your tracks to the cloud. The cloud is not your backup. The cloud is not your friend. Yeah, it is your friend. I use it for my contacts. I use it for my calendars. I use it for my notes. But I don't use it when I'm coding. I don't use it when I'm editing videos. And I don't use it for DJing because I don't rely it for that. 𝐿𝐼𝐸 said he liked AI software for song similarities, but I am same as 𝐸𝐸. This is the fun of DJing. Yeah, exactly that. 𝐤𝐬𝐯, I thought a DJ was an influencer who plays music. Yeah, that is kind of what it has become now. But I'm back from the day and age where I was stowed away in the darkest place of the club. I didn't have a spotlight on me. People needed to know where to find me if they had a request. And that was all totally fine by me because that made me do my job much more easier. But hey, in this day and era, I watched a few streams of Coachella. There was nothing coming out of Coachella this year. Last year, of course, we had the famous...
I hope this works. We're having a major technical difficulty. But fuck it!
And evil voices now say that was a publicity stunt. I don't know. Yes, it doesn't have much to do with the art of being a DJ. And that's why I'm still love to watch my friend DJ 𝗏𝐺𝐺 at work, because that is a DJ to my heart and just goes with the flow and does what he was. Okay, here's a serious question. As much as I love Traktor now, that I'm getting club kicks, I'm going cold turkey and only using a Rekordbox and Pioneer XDG-RRR. Yeah, that is the situation it is, Jade. And if I have to give an aspiring DJ advice for what to pick as their DJ software, then indeed I will tell them to use Rekordbox. Because you are most likely, sooner rather than later, encounter CDJs, and Rekordbox is the preparation platform for that. And if you've got everything already there, then most of your job is done. I still like Traktor, though it has fallen behind tremendously compared to, let's say, a virtual DJ or an algorithm DJ. But because of legacy, I'm telling this 3 years already. I'm already 3 years into I'm going to leave Traktor, but I didn't do that yet. Why not? Because my workflow is Traktor based and it still serves its purpose within my workflow. But if I had to pick up new software starting from scratch right now, then Rekordbox would be my recommendation, or maybe algorithm DJ, but that kind of has the same problem as Traktor has, you sooner rather than later are going to encounter CDJs. Then you need to go to Rekordbox, and of course my software can help you with that, but would be easier to just be already at the platform that you need to be at. I find myself missing so many features I used, like stems and key shifts. How can I change my mixing style to be more interesting without these now? Well, J equalizers are your friends, but coming from Traktor, you are used to one of the best effects, software effects in the business. And the key shifting in Traktor is also pretty decent. So yeah, I hear you, but that means less reliance on stems. And I know stems are tempting to use, but I try not to overuse them as well. I just like to do the old-fashioned lows EQing out, mids a little bit in, and then you can get far away already by doing exactly what stems can do, but maybe not as perfect as you would like that to do in a software-based system. Yeah, like Mr. Mac said, it's awesome, but yeah, Rekordbox is what we are all using, or are all being forced to use if you like to. Then the final thing that I need to talk about is the release of the DJ Conversion Utility Streaming version 3.0. For those of you unfamiliar with the DJ Conversion Utility Streaming, it is different from the DJ Conversion Utility. It works with tracks on streaming services, not with tracks on audio files. But as most of you have encountered, you cannot convert the cues and loops between various DJ software for tracks on streaming services, and that's what the DJ Conversion Utility Streaming allows you to do. Some things that might be convenient for people to know about streaming services are the following. Let's fire up DJ, because maybe 𝐷𝐸𝐻 is still with us, and he always likes it when we fire up DJ. One of the things that I discovered is that you cannot remove these playlists. You cannot do that right here. These are playlists in the music part, and those playlists are available in all the DJ software. So let's create a new one. Add playlist, and then say, this is my new playlist. What we can do, however, is we can create a playlist folder, and we name that playlist folder trash this, please. And then I can put all the playlists that you don't want any longer on it. And I cannot move them. Ah, all right. That seems to be an issue in DJ. You cannot move. Let's see if that's the same in Rekordbox and Serato, just for fun and giggles. Because what would be the use to create a playlist folder if you cannot move playlists inside of it? Okay, let's go to Apple Music. That's right here. Let's clear that one out, and there we don't see the playlist folder at all. Can I create? No. So no playlist folders in Serato. Funny, I never. You learn something new every day. This is for me a new learning experience, and I love it because I like to find out new stuff. Oh, we've got a new version of Rekordbox here, my friends. Let's have a look about that later on. Hold on, let's close this out. Always curious about new version of Rekordbox. Tuesday seems to be the day that Pioneer DJ releases new Rekordbox versions. Let's dive into music, let's dive into the library, and let's dive into the playlists. And there I cannot see my playlist folder either created in DJ. Let's see, I cannot edit it at all. Import playlist, yes, I can do that. But I cannot curate them. Strange. All right. Well, something learned today. Let's double check in DJ if that playlist still exists, because then that is a very strange behavior. I will have a look later on Engine OS, what's happening there, but then we've covered it all. So let's go back to here. Yeah, 𝗃𝐺𝑠 playlist is still there, and we are in the playlist part of music, so it should be there already. But you can only create playlists. So this is my new playlist. There we are. How does this work with algorithm DJ? Let me clear the entire space here so we know what we are doing. Let's take this off. And then let's show you how you, for instance, can go from, let's add some tracks. Do we have some tracks? Oh, we have some tracks here. So we have the AC/DC track. Let's load it up. And I can give it some cues. So let's give it a cue here. Totally random cues because, hey, it's AC/DC. And let's give it a cue here. And then let's give it an exit loop there. I don't know. Let's do it like this. And then activate the loop and then save the loop. So the AC/DC track has some cues and loops. Can I put the color tab on? Yes, I can. Can I move that forward, please? Yes, I can. And then let's make it a yellow. So now I've got the highway to hell track and it has cues and loops. Right now, the DJ conversion utility can already convert it. However, and this is important to remember, the track is not part of the native music collection. The native music collection, you can see that right here, and you activate that. Oh, that's behind my head. But let's do it like this. In the right lower hand corner, you've got this symbol. With that, you activate the column view to the right in DJ, and then you can navigate to the DJ crate. And as you can see, there is no music there. There's no songs. If I do this, I get some extra information inside the DJ collection file. It is not an absolute requirement, so let's not do that for the Not Like Us track, like this. And then let's give that a Q2, just a single Q. And by the way, this is the explicit version of Not Like Us. And let's say we want to move all this information to Serato. All you need to do is to fire up the DJ conversion utility streaming. And then tell it that you come from Apple Music as a source, that DJ is going to be our source software, and we want to go to Serato. We can at the same time go to Rekordbox, and if I insert my USB, that is already there, but that's a Mac OS extended, I think. Let me reformat that drive very quickly so I can use it. 𝐘𝐬𝐬, that's one of the things that I discovered. I'm using, what is that called? A MixStream Pro Plus from Numark that doesn't read Mac OS extended. That only does the old FAT and XFAT. So let's format it FAT like this. Done. And let's go to Engine DJ. So mind you, I'm going to 3 different softwares all together and say start the conversion, and it will start converting. That will be pretty quick. And as you have seen, I did this to an empty engine or to an empty USB. I did not do this to an internal drive in Prime 4. So I did it to an engine or to an empty USB. Now, first of all, let's go to Serato. Let me show you what this looks like. And again, why is that not loading? Oh, there we go. And you can see that the highway to hell now has the yellow color already. You can load it up. You've got your cues there. And if we scroll down, we also should have the loop, which is there. So that has all been converted. The same for the Kendrick track. If we load it up and we go to the cues, then we see we don't have any cues, and that is one of the reasons why I say be careful when you when the track is not part of the collection, because I can tell you that the clean version of 𝐀𝐬𝐤, and this is the explicit and this is the clean version, will have the Q most likely. And otherwise I don't know where it left it. No, oh, that's weird. Oh, there it is. You see, it was the loop, it was not the Q. But that track has indeed the converted loop. So that is simply because it cannot, if that track is not in the DJ collection, as I did on purpose with the Not Like Us track, it cannot determine if it is the clean or the explicit version, and it defaults to the clean version. So that's just a precaution to make sure that things go fine. You can actually have influenced that. Let me show that too, hold on. Because within the DJ conversion utility, I'm going to show it in Rekordbox and the other stuff in a moment, but within the DJ conversion utility streaming, if you come from DJ, and because of this shortcoming, because if you forget to move a track in the DJ collection, you come from Apple Music, you have this little box, explicit lyrics allowed, and that was not checked, and for that reason it went to the clean version. Now, let me show you what happens if we indeed make that 𝐀𝐬𝐤 track part of the collection, and you can very simply do that by, hold on, there it is, by doing this, and as you can see that's still the explicit version, and if I run the DJ conversion utility streaming now, it will go to that explicit track, even if I did not specify it, because it doesn't have to look it up, it knows exactly where it needs to be. But you can even specify it to that explicit is allowed, but that isn't a strict requirement. That we got, then we switched on. That's it. Here we go. And let's go back to our Serato, and then I will go to Rekordbox, and then we go to Engine OS, and then you have seen that indeed you can just set your cues and loops in whatever DJ software you like, and then move them all over to other DJ software if you need to. By the way, this isn't restricted to, come on, oh, there it is. This isn't restricted to Apple Music. It will also work for, there it is, there you've got your cue in the explicit version. Oh, this is the clean version. Why is that the clean version? It only has clean versions. Oh, maybe it didn't convert. No. All right, that's all fine. Now let's go to Rekordbox, because that is a little bit clearer, because Serato doesn't have a clean/dirty indicator. However, Rekordbox does. Help me remember that we are going to have a look at what the Rekordbox update has in store for us. There we are, and there we have the Not Like Us track. That's fine, and that indeed has the Q. And you can see that little E in front of it, that's the dirty version. So indeed it did went to the dirty version. Of course, the Highway to Hell track also has the cues and loops converted, as you can see right here. And if we enable the color, and I always have to find where that thing is, because these are the most, and then you will see that the color is yellow. Now let's move to my Engine OS gear, and for that I'm going to quit this and eject my USB, because that USB holds all the information. By the way, there are some things that you need to know about Apple Music and Engine OS. I made a video, a very short video, in my YouTube channel, where you can find all things. So you can see that I've got the Not Like Us 2 times for the explicit. All right, that's weird. Let's see what happens if we load it up. and that should be on the saved loops. And indeed, it has the saved loop, as you can see, just fine. And if I go back to the view and I go to, hold on. I need to get this from the source, and I cannot do this from, that's funny. They are all marked as explicit, however they are not. And there you can see that the cues are there and the saved loop is there. So you can indeed convert all that information. But on Engine OS it is not ideal yet, folks, so keep that in mind. That is how you can use DDA conversion to the streaming. I think it's the most simplest of my apps I ever built because it's just point and click. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Mr. Mac and Jade Starwatcher are still looking if they should or not should use AI. Mr. Mac, I think we will see stems in the future, but the problem right now is that creating stems requires much processing power. And your average computer has that processing power, but a CDJ doesn't. And for that reason, they have to look how to implement this, because we expect the best quality stems, we expect it real time, and that means processing power, sheer simple processing power. And what they actually should do is put a Mac Mini M4 inside the CDJ unit, and that should take care of everything. And maybe we are not that far away from that kind of solutions. By the way, folks, this was all that I prepared. So we are going to look together at this Rekordbox release, what that is about. If you got a question for me, then let me know in the chat that you've got a question, because otherwise you run the risk that you are typing and that's it. Yeah, indeed, that's exactly that, 𝐷𝗵𝐻, but don't forget, so it's kind of market size versus development costs versus quality of build. There are more factors than just comparing apples with oranges. I'm not saying that they should cost this much, but if Pioneer DJ can ask it and people are willing to pay it, and Engine OS is not the alternative that's being picked up, then there is a reason for that. That's all I'm saying. Let's see now what the new Rekordbox update has in store. By the way, folks, I always recommend you guys not to update Rekordbox from within the app, because that can take ages, but do as I do, go to rekordbox.com and we accept all the cookies, and then we download it for free and we agree and download it for free. And then you come to this part of the page that you think, hey, but I thought it was free. It's already downloading, folks, so don't worry. And now we go back and see what we have. Occasionally unable to log back into Apple Music. I haven't discovered that, and I have really have worked a lot with Apple Music and Rekordbox to develop the DDA conversion to streaming. Apple Music playlist with more than 1,000 tracks would only display the first 1,000. That's the famous 1,000 track limitation of playlists within Rekordbox. Occasionally, when selecting the root of a playlist or a folder, would not display the contained tracks. Yeah, that is one of the things they implemented and were initiated by the Serato guys. Because in Serato you can tell that if you click a top level crate, all the contents of the subcrates are displayed. And they now brought that to Rekordbox as well. Occasionally exporting playlists to a text file would not export them in the correct order. Alright. Improve stabilities, fixes and other minor issues. In other words, we are not going to tell you more what we did. It seems to be a point update indeed, and not that important, but I will install it later on my systems and let you know if there are issues, but on average you can expect this update to be pretty stable. There was some earlier issue that we reported. and that was acknowledged that they would fix it, but that's not in this list, so maybe not yet. Let's see, 𝐸𝐺 glitch stop. Well, that's sorry, because I did Mr. Mac, I mix everything harmonically. Yeah, that's though the yeah, though, but that's most likely because he still wants to do that cruise around Hawaii and stuff like that first. So I can understand your wife. Crazy you have to do all this and Rekordbox is industry standard. I'm not impressed. Yeah, but 𝐸𝐺, it's not if you are impressed, it's simply the standard. And that is not just marketing. Like it or like it not, it is also consistency and quality that make it the market leader. And do I concur that it is the best DJ software? No, I don't. I think DJ and algorithm DJ and virtual DJ are much more advanced if it comes to that. But it is what it is, and the market has spoken. And my background is in the financial markets, and I always have learned not to fight the market, because why would you? 𝐤𝐳𝐲𝐿, though, she yeah, well, there you go. You all get it, guys. That also means that I am at the end of my live stream today. I will be back next Tuesday, of course, unless something very dramatic happens. If you got questions for me for next Tuesday, put them in the comments below and I'm happy to address them in a next live stream. For now, thank you all, especially those live in the live stream, for hanging out with me on a Tuesday evening, rainy Tuesday evening ever, in the Netherlands. I hope to see you all back. Mixmaster G, signing off.